My parents kicked me out 3 days before Christmas. I spent Christmas Eve at a homeless shelter. The woman next to me asked, "What's your name?" When I told her, she gasped, "Your grandmother hired me. She left you something, but only if I found you homeless. She knew they would do this to you." I thought she had me confused with someone else. My grandma died 2 years ago. We weren't even allowed to talk about her in that house. 3 years ago, my dad got laid off from the plant. My mom called me crying, "Just help us for a few months, honey." So I gave up my apartment and moved back into my old room. I picked up doubles at the warehouse. My paycheck went into a joint account my mom set up for the bills. Every month, $2,200 give or take, for 3 years. 3 days before Christmas, I came home from a 16-hour shift and found trash bags stacked on the porch, my whole life in plastic. There was a brand new deadbolt on the door, still shiny. My mom talked to me through the chain gap. She said the house was too crowded. She said it was time I stood on my own 2 feet. I asked her to repeat it. She just said it colder. Behind her, I could see my dad in his chair. He didn't turn around. Then the door clicked shut. I had $840 in my own account. My car needed a transmission I couldn't afford. Every apartment in town wanted first, last, and deposit. The motel out by the highway ate $79 a night. I made it 2 nights before the math stopped working. That's how a 31-year-old with a full-time job ends up signing her name into a church shelter on Christmas Eve. I stood outside that door for 10 minutes before I could make my legs walk in. Pride is a hell of a drug. They gave me a cot against the wall. Around 9, a woman with a silver braid sat down on the cot next to mine and handed me a cup of cocoa like we'd known each other 30 years. Then she asked my name. When I told her, both her hands came up to her mouth. She gasped out loud, and she said the thing you heard at the start. I didn't believe her. Obviously, a stranger at a shelter who knows your dead grandmother and promises an inheritance? That's a scam with extra steps. But then she knew my middle name. She knew the burn scar on grandma's wrist from a cookie sheet. She pulled out her phone and showed me a photo of a photo. Me, at 10 years old, missing a front tooth, standing in grandma's garden holding a watering can. I remembered that exact afternoon. Her name was Dolores, retired private investigator, licensed 28 years. She said grandma walked into her office the year before she died, put down a retainer, and gave her one job. Look in on my granddaughter once a year, and when the day comes, you'll know it. Dolores asked how she'd know the day. Grandma told her, "One winter, my son and his wife will decide she's used up. When you find her with nowhere left to go, that's when you move." 2 days after Christmas, Dolores drove me to an estate attorney named Mr. Whitfield, office above the credit union. He unlocked a drawer he said had been waiting 2 years. Here's what nobody in my family knew. 15 years ago, my parents were 4 months behind on the mortgage. The bank had started foreclosure paperwork. Grandma quietly sold her late sister's farmland and paid off the house, $118,000 in full. But she didn't gift it to them. She bought it. The deed went into her name, and she let them live there rent-free. She never told a soul. She knew my dad's pride would keep him quiet. It did. My parents spent 15 years bragging about the house they saved. It was never theirs. Her will left it to me. One condition, in her own handwriting. Not while she lives under their roof. They will guilt her out of it inside a month. Give it to her the day they throw her away. Let them show her who they are first. Mr. Whitfield slid the deed across the desk, then a brass key on a loop of kitchen string. The house I got kicked out of. The porch where my trash bags sat. The door with the shiny new deadbolt. Mine. Grandma owned it the whole time. The transfer took 3 weeks to record. My parents got the certified letter on a Tuesday. By Wednesday, my phone was on fire. 2 aunts calling me heartless. A cousin texting, "After everything your parents did for you." Nobody asked where I slept on Christmas Eve. It genuinely never came up. Then my mom called, screaming that there'd been a mistake, that some stranger was claiming to own their house. I said there was no mistake. I said grandma bought it 15 years ago when the bank was about to take it. The line went so quiet I could hear her kitchen clock. Then the sweet voice came out. "Honey, family works these things out. Come home and we'll talk." I let her finish. Then I told her I'd be by Friday. Not to talk, to change the locks. She said, "You wouldn't dare put your own parents on the street 3 weeks after Christmas." I looked at the brass key on its string and said, "Why not? You taught me how."